It's just such an outlet, right? Pour all of your creativity in. So to me, marketing is the full package.
Creativity in marketing comes from understanding different customer insights and then figuring out how to unlock the most value by personalizing the experience for each customer.
Any time where you start a project end to end and then really see the result, all of a sudden, like, you get an amazing impact.
The best way to market your brand and your potential is just listening to what your customers have to say.
It really is personalization and automation at scale.
There are two worlds. Your world of direct response advertising, and that other world, the world of general advertising. These two worlds are on a collision course. Ladies and gentlemen, I envy you. Your timing is perfect.
Please join me in welcoming to the stage Movable Ink's co-founder and CEO, Vivek Sharma.
She's up all night to the sun. I'm up all night to get some. She's up all night for good fun. I'm up all night to get lucky.
Welcome to Think Summit 2025. Can't believe it's been a year since we got everyone here. The room's gotten a little bit bigger, I think, in that time. But I think the only thing that we can kind of acknowledge to ourselves is in the past year, change is a constant. And for those who thrive in these times of change are the ones who create. So our theme this year is /create. For the first time in history, we have tools available to us that are intersecting technology, art, and psychology in a way that was never before possible. And frankly, didn't we all kind of get into the space to do marketing, to be able to play with the intersection of these different spaces? Well, before I'd like to dive into all of that, I'd like to welcome the 145 innovative global companies that have chosen Movable Ink to drive their personalization in the past year. These are leaders in financial services, retail, entertainment, hospitality, technology. So how about a big hand and a warm welcome to the Movable Ink community. Movable Ink also turns 15 this year. And our pace of innovation has never been faster. And all of that innovation is needed because the legacy approach to marketing is broken. We all went into marketing with high aspirations, and then the reality of the work hit us. I'm getting stressed out just looking at this. I don't know about you. It all starts to feel like that TV show Severance. Any Severance fans here? Few? Yeah. Your Audi became an innie, and work started to feel like a never-ending day at macro data refinement, where you're just moving tasks from one bucket to the other, and you're never breaking out and experiencing what could be. I think I see you out there, Mark S. Welcome. Furthermore, we know that blasting out big volumes of generic messaging, that is carrying a cost. Your customers are checked out, distracted, bored, or anxious. It's hard to run a fixed plan with all of this economic uncertainty. The legacy approach isn't working, and it's time to kind of build something completely new with a new approach. Last year, we talked about change agents catalyzing their organizations to leap forward. This year, I'd like to talk about one such change agent named Billy Beane. Billy was a former baseball player who rose up the ranks to eventually become the GM of the Oakland A's in 1997. Many of you probably read a story in the book Moneyball by Michael Lewis, or you saw the movie starring Brad Pitt. Now, up until that point, spotting talent was a subjective skill that baseball scouts took great pride in cultivating. That was until Billy took a bat to this dogma. Now, baseball fields worlds apart, but how many of us find ourselves doing things the same way they've always been done? Is it time for you to have your Moneyball moment? Now, Billy approached baseball through a statistical lens, and he applied a form of mathematics called sabermetrics to the sport. After Billy implemented his Moneyball approach, focusing on data, on-base percentage, and undervalued players, the Oakland A's rapidly improved. they became one of the most consistently successful teams in baseball, despite having one of the lowest payrolls. Now, I grew up in Massachusetts, and my home team, the Boston Red Sox, paid close attention because they're wicked smart. They kept the Moneyball philosophy, but they combined it with spending power. And this helped them unlock playoff wins and finally win their first World Series since 1918, breaking the curse of the Bambino. The Red Sox would go on to become a dynasty thanks to the power of statistical analysis. Now, marketing is about to enter its Moneyball era. We have the same dogmas and rituals that baseball did, but it's not statistical analysis, but rather the AI revolution that is challenging the conventional approach and making stars of savvy marketers. We call this new era autonomous marketing. Imagine having an agent, an AI agent, that understands each and every one of your customers in real time, better than you ever could. It's always on, making decisions and optimizing towards your goals. It shows its work, and it teaches your teams things they never knew. And it's able to drive and quantify revenue uplift with hard numbers. To help us understand how we're going to make all this happen, I'd like to invite Movable Ink's Chief Product Officer, Brian Wade, up on stage. Welcome, Brian.
Vivek, good morning, everyone. Great to be here.
So, Brian, what I've shared about autonomous marketing is a big concept. Where are most brands today on their journey towards autonomy?
Most brands are manually deploying their campaigns with rules-based segmentation, content that's scripted with logic, and the automations, the triggers, the journeys, they're filled with if, then, else paths that you predefine to take your customers down. So manual, rules-based, predefined customer experiences.
That's right. And over the last few years, Movable Ink has helped augment the marketing process, and we're applying AI to key steps. AI decides what content someone should see, not predefined rules. Now, all of this is probably pretty familiar to those of you who come to Think Summit in the past couple of years. But Brian, there's a next and final level we could take this to, isn't there?
That's right. Yeah, we call it Level 5 Autonomy, and it's autonomous marketing, where an agent executes your marketing strategy. The agent will understand your customer by analyzing past behavior, purchase history, and then the agent will create a multi-step plan and then act, not once, but continuously over time.
This sounds like a lofty vision. When can we see this? 5 years, 10 years from now?
We're going to talk about it live here on stage at Think Summit.
All right, I'm eager to learn more. Stage is yours, Brian.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Give it up for Vivek, everyone. Thank you, Vivek. There's just no doubt that the future of marketing is autonomous, with AI models that make billions of decisions, agents that execute the strategy that you have in your marketing program. And this future, as we heard from Paul, is not scary. It is the opportunity for every marketer here in this room to evolve, because the marketer plays a central role in autonomous marketing. It will be your job to feed AI beautifully designed, on-brand content. It will also be your job to set guardrails and business rules to govern the AI models, because you have the business context. You understand the strategy and vision of your company. So by feeding the AI content, by setting the guardrails, you're configuring the AI to help you achieve your business outcomes. And so over the course of the next 45 minutes, we're going to unpack how the marketer and machine work together to deliver a better customer experience, to improve the productivity of your teams. And most importantly, everyone here has a number to hit, right? A sales target, a revenue target, a financial target. AI can help you achieve incrementality, incremental lift and engagement and revenue for your marketing program. So how does it work? Well, we're going to walk you through not just the technology shift, but the shift in the marketer's role, the shift in the way you run your marketing program, starting with the most political and arbitrary process in marketing, the calendar. And we hear this from you all the time, whether it's the merchants, the business unit owners, the product line leaders, even your C-suite will come to you and ask, Can we get these personas to have this content pushed out to them on Tuesday? And maybe on Wednesday, let's send this content to 50% of our file. And on Friday, everyone's getting the same offer. This decisioning process is not a customer-centric process. And with autonomous marketing, it gets replaced by a new decisioning process. AI models that make content, subject line, send time, and frequency decisions. Because the AI models will model your customer and understand who should get what content, when that content should be received, and how often they should get a message from you. AI models deliver a customer-centric experience. And with autonomous marketing, the workflow, the business process that you go through every day, and if this is your job to deploy campaigns, you know what I'm talking about, the repetitive, tedious, error-prone process. Wouldn't it be amazing if the campaign workflow as we know it today was eliminated, just gone? With an agentic workflow, you are no longer creating campaigns. Instead, you're creating an agent. And that agent sits on top of the AI models, right? It feeds the agent decisions. And then you, the marketer, go through a 3-step process. First, you feed the AI your creative, approved, on-brand stories and content that you want the customer to see. Then you set guardrails. Things like creative eligibility, reuse rules, prohibitive pairings. Never show this content next to this content. You are in control. My favorite guardrails, the frequency ones, where you set quiet hours and blockout windows. Because let's be real, there are times of the year where your business has a big priority and you have to get the same message out to everyone. So you just tell the agent to stand down for a 3-day weekend or for some period of time as you do what you have to do to help deliver your business's top priorities. With autonomous marketing, the creative production process also changes because content is a bottleneck. With photo shoots, touch-ups, approvals, this process can, for some of you, can take a very long time to get new creatives. And so that is where content generation comes in, where every row of data in your CRM, your ESP, your CDP, even your homegrown systems can generate content at the moment of engagement for a one-to-one personalized experience for your customer. And once that content is deployed, everyone should be running tests, right? A/B tests. So when you look here at the chart, take note of the pink. These are winner-take-all strategies. When you run an A/B test or a multi-arm bandit, the winning content gets deployed to everyone. With autonomous marketing, you're running a one-to-one experiment where the AI is selecting content for each and every customer every day to figure out the tastes and preferences, not of the wisdom of the crowd, but of the individual customer. And this experiment is a scientific experiment because the results are statistically significant insights. So, of course, you get your opens, clicks, bounces, unsubscribes from Movable Ink, but with autonomous marketing, you're getting strategic insights. Insights into what drives incrementality. Does this piece of content drive lift and clicks, conversions, and revenue? With our new retention effectiveness scores, you can find out if this piece of content drives unsubscribes or unengagement from your customers. And so this is what we think the future of marketing looks like, with AI models making billions of decisions that feed the agent that you control, with content being generated at the moment of engagement, and experiments being run on each and every customer, and insights that you can share back with your data science team, back with your creative team, to change the way that you run your marketing program. And so this is what we're building at Movable Ink, a platform that helps you engage with your customers using autonomous marketing with content at the center of our platform, because it's the content that engages the customer across all the channels you see here on the screen, including some new ones that we'll talk about today, which I'm excited to share. And we'll talk about 2 products, Studio and DaVinci. And both of our products integrate deeply into an ecosystem of 125 verified, certified, productized integrations. Because we take the MarTech stack that you have and we make it better. And so we're going to kick this keynote off this morning by telling you what's new and what's coming in Studio, which is our product that generates content. And so we're going to welcome to the stage the Vice President of Product Marketing, Anjali Akundi. Anjali, come on up.
Thank you. Good morning. I'm thrilled to be here today to talk to you more about Movable Ink Studio. This is our flagship product that has been in market for 15 years. This is the product that you use, you've used in the past, your friends and colleagues all use. But if you need a refresher, Studio solves one of our most pressing challenges in the era of autonomous marketing. You just heard Brian talk about it. It's the fact that to truly deliver one-to-one personalized content, you need a lot of content. Content that's impossible to manually create. That is where Studio comes in. Studio personalizes every layer of an image, activating data, no matter where it lives, to create an image that's truly personalized, just for me. So in this travel company, you can see this looks completely tailored just to me. I live in Boston. You can see the beautiful Boston skyline, real-time ratings, reviews, views, offers, and pricing. And the offer is tailored exactly to my loyalty status.
This looks amazing, Anjali, but what would this look like for me or for anyone here in the audience?
Well, Brian, this exact image looks completely different for you. You can see the tailored to you in Indianapolis.
That's right, and direct flights from Indy.
Exactly, the beautiful Indy skyline.
Yeah.
You can see you're more of a road warrior than I am, so you have an offer tailored just for you. It truly is one send, infinite creative. And we're doing it across every channel.
And we've gone truly omni-channel. We're excited to share a series of brand new features, functionality, announcements. So Anjali, why don't you kick us off here by telling us what's new, what's coming, what we've got launching.
Yeah, I mean, it wouldn't be a keynote without some product announcements.
That's right.
So let's start with mobile. This is one of your most critical channels to reach customers, always on the go and fast growing. So let's start with the app. I'm excited to share that now live for all Studio customers are interactive in-app messages. These are HTML-powered messages that allow interactivity like never before. Think video backgrounds, multiple clickable elements, and more, all in a low, no-code environment. But I know not all of you have an app, right, Brian?
That's right. And so we're excited to share that the world's #1 messaging app, WhatsApp, is now fully integrated into Movable Ink Studio. So you can build the same creative experiences that you do for your email or in your mobile app directly in the WhatsApp interface. And it's fully integrated and interoperable with your mobile service provider. So if you use an MSP, we can integrate directly with it.
And for those of you delivering mobile messaging to North American customers, we're going to be going live later in the year with RCS. If you don't have RCS on your radar, get it there now, because this is the future of mobile messaging across Android and iOS devices. You know how it's terrible when you're texting between an Android and iPhone?
That's right. You get those grainy videos and maybe like the little icons don't come across right when you're texting with somebody else who has a different device.
Exactly. This allows interactivity like never before. For you as marketers, think things like verified sender, carousel, add to cart, and more. And soon you'll be able to put Studio content to personalize this channel like never before.
And of course, beyond mobile, Anjali, right? Everyone's been asking, and I think this is one we're pretty excited to share.
I mean, your main channel to get all of your e-commerce, all your traffic, it's web.
That's right.
So I'm excited to share that Studio is going to be live for web. We're truly going omni-channel. With Studio for Web, you'll be able to personalize with Studio content on things like banners, tiles, interstitials, and more. But the workflow is different, right,
That's
Brian?
right.
It's a different channel. It's an inbound channel, not an outbound channel.
Correct. The inbound channel, like your website, has different characteristics than an email. And so this is a step-by-step workflow. You can see on the screen these little icons. You click through, and what it does is it gives you all the confidence to make sure that you have accessibility and things like the HTML previews all baked into your QA process. So when you deploy this content on a landing page or a website, it's perfect for the web.
And it's not just your workflow that's different. The partners, the vendors you use are different on the website, which is why we'll be expanding our partner ecosystem for the leading strategic CMS and landing page providers. Think Adobe Experience Manager, Salesforce Marketing Cloud, Sitecore, and more, all being rolled out. And if you don't see your vendor on here, we're in our early adopter now. Come talk to us. But this is all in service of getting Movable Ink Studio use cases to market faster, in minutes, activating data. Which brings me to our last set of announcements.
That's right, tactics.
All about tactics. Tactics are our guided workflows to help you get predefined use cases up and running in minutes without support or services needed. It starts with these predefined use cases, which we're rolling out every 6 weeks across a whole slew of use cases like upsell, cross-sell, loyalty, and retention. We're making improvements to things like Designer to have pre-built usage patterns. You'll see that in the demo in a couple minutes. But there's another thing everybody's been asking us about, right?
That's right, testing. And so experiments are now baked directly into tactics. So you can run a side-by-side comparison of a control group versus a tactic, or your previous versions of content and your new versions of content as you change your content over time to see the winning content and to truly understand what's driving the most lift, which content performs best right inside of a tactic.
And it's also about making it easier than ever to activate data no matter where it lives, which brings me to our unified data platform. Let me be clear, this is not a CDP, this is not a data warehouse. This is a virtualized data layer, which is in real time aggregating customer data with contextual data and business data so you can enable more effective personalization at the moment of open, all without support or services needed. So you'll have guided workflows for data setup, for mapping data schemas and data transformation, all of that you can now do with just a couple of clicks. And it comes to life in our integrations gallery. So last year, we announced 80 partners on our integrations gallery. This year, we have over 125 partners live in our integrations gallery, including major vendors that you have been asking us for, like Iterable, Klaviyo, SAP Amarsis, and Shopify.
But what about the homegrown systems? A lot of customers here kind of roll their own platforms, right?
Exactly. A lot of you are from enterprise brands. In fact, most of you are. And we know that you have homegrown solutions. So now we have an easy, guided workflow to integrate into all of your homegrown solutions as well. But Brian, enough from us. Let's actually hear how a customer does this. What about Fanatics Sportsbook? But Brian, I'm not as much of a seasoned sports bettor. So can you tell us a little bit more about who is Fanatics Sportsbook?
Yeah, so you might know Fanatics as the commerce platform where you get the merchandise for your favorite sports teams. They power the commerce for all the major sports leagues. 2.5 years ago, they acquired a sports book to create one platform so fans can buy their favorite merchandise for their teams and place a bet.
And they've seen tremendous success with Studio, starting an email where they saw double-digit lift in open rate, double-digit lift in bets placed, leading to real revenue gains, and triple, sometimes even quadruple lift in click-through rate, all while seeing a 90% reduction in production time and operational overhead across 51 campaigns in just 8 months.
So when I make a bet on Fanatics Sportsbook, Anjali, I do it from my phone, right? So what about mobile?
They've seen similar, if not better, results on mobile, doing things like rich push and interactive in-app messaging. But it's not just the results that truly excite me about Fanatics Sportsbook and mobile. They've actually gone viral for these, with people saying, this is the reason why I only bet with Fanatics Sportsbook. And these experiences are why Fanatics Sportsbook is the fastest growing and best online betting platform. But don't take it just from us. Let's hear it from the Fanatics Sportsbook team themselves. Let's roll the film.
We are the fastest growing sportsbook and online casino in America. We are passionate about the fan. It's in our name. It's everything we do. We have the fan at the center of those decisions. I'm Brian. I'm the Senior Director of Digital Engagement at Fanatics Betting and Gaming. The heritage that we've built through the Fanatics brand really sets us apart from the rest. Movable Ink Studio allows us to activate the Fanatics ecosystem for our fans, giving them unique experiences and ways that they can experience not just Fanatics Betting and Gaming, but the entire Fanatics ecosystem. It helps us to dynamically populate content for customers that's relevant to them, whether it's content about their favorite team, about their favorite market, about their favorite player, or whether it's just cross-sell opportunities. We're giving customers the opportunity to discover new parts of our product on our platforms. Fan cash is a key differentiator for us. It's our currency. You earn fan cash for every bet you place with us. It's up to the customer how they use that fan cash. So they can use it to purchase bonus bets, use it on our commerce website to buy their favorite jersey or to pick up some of their favorite baseball cards. With the expansion in the mobile channels, it's a huge opportunity for us to leverage Movable Ink. We needed a partner to help us scale, and I think it speaks a lot for our partnership in that we were able to not only build and execute a really seamless campaign, but some of the engagement metrics that we saw through the mobile channels were probably tenfold what we had forecasted. Movable Ink played a really key role in reducing the amount of templates we had to build and making them dynamic per customer, and we've been replicating what we're doing in email but across rich push and through our in-app channels. We've just launched our company-wide loyalty program, Fanatics One. It's across the entire ecosystem, and customers can earn tier status across all those different verticals. Movable Ink is going to play a really key role in the delivery of that for Fanatics Betting and Gaming. Movable Ink helps us deliver all of those experiences across email, through our in-app channels and through rich push. I've been lucky enough to work with Movable Ink for different businesses in different parts of the world, and the outputs have always been the same. To me, it's a no-brainer to partner with Movable Ink.
What an amazing story from Fanatics Sportsbook. But let's see how this looks in the actual platform. Please welcome to the stage our Director of Product Marketing, Andrew Leclerc. Andrew, come join me. Let's go.
Thank you, Anjali. Now, you guys may not know this, but Anjali and I are huge college basketball fans. So I root for UConn, obviously. And I may have been known to place a bet or two on those games to make them a little bit more interesting. Whereas Anjali, well, she bleeds green for Michigan State, but is still a little bit newer to that betting scene. So what we're gonna do today is jump in our time machine and flash back to our favorite time of year, which is March Madness, to show you how Fanatics uses Studio to enhance our experience, tailoring live offers just for us, based on our favorite teams and betting history. So let's jump in. Now, at Studio, we are the experts at transforming data into personalized content. So let me show you how it's never been easier to bring any data from any source into Studio. And all of that starts with Integrations Gallery. And what Integrations Gallery allows me to do is browse over 125 of Studio's partner integrations. So I can quickly connect to things like my ESP, my MSP, my CDP, any other three-letter acronym that you folks may have. But as Anjali mentioned earlier, we have a lot of exciting enhancements here, particularly what you see at the top, with custom integrations. Because now, not only can you connect to all of those partner APIs that you just saw, but now you have a brand new self-service workflow to connect to partners that aren't listed in the gallery, or your own managed services, doing things like establishing custom APIs, incoming webhooks, uploading CSVs, and more directly in Integrations Gallery.
I mean, this is amazing, right? Like all the 3-letter acronyms, but there's one I didn't see on there. It's the modern data warehouses. I'm getting asked by all of you about this all the time. The Databricks, the BigQuery, the Snowflakes of the world. Can we integrate into those?
Yeah, absolutely. So if we jump back to our partner integrations and search Snowflake, for example, and then click into that, Studio is going to give me everything that I need to do in order to configure that secure data sharing. But let me show you how this looks once it's set up. So if we jump into active integrations, what this does is show me all the different data sources that I have configured for Fanatics. So you can see I have my APIs, I have my CSVs, even plugged directly into the website. And if I click into any of these, I can see all of the different data points flowing in from that source. So here I have something like somebody's tier, their member status, the life cycle stage, their name, average deposit, average bet size, everything that I'm going to need to customize my content effectively.
I mean, this is fantastic, very easy, but we're not a data platform. We're a content personalization platform. So how does this come to life in content and personalization?
Yeah, we do that through tactics. So if I jump into our tactics gallery, what this does is allow me to explore all of the use cases I can launch right out of the box with Studio. And for me, that's what's key about this, right? As a marketer, it allows me to come in and quickly find the use cases that matter most to me, or explore some new ones that I may have never thought of before.
And like I mentioned earlier, these are launching every 6 weeks. And Andrew, I think we have even a dozen launching on Monday, right?
Yeah, exactly. I mean, if you take a look at this, it's already a pretty robust list, right? We have our quick wins, things like countdown timers, things like scratch-offs. We have our more sophisticated use cases, things like product recommendations and live polls. And as you mentioned, more coming every 6 weeks. So in our upcoming releases, be on the lookout for things like loyalty data visualizations, category product grids, store locators, more always coming soon. But let me show you how easy it is to actually create one of these. So if I go ahead and click into personalized offer, again, Studio is going to guide me through this entire process. So all I need to do is give this thing a name, add a description, and then select my layout.
I mean, Andrew, this is something that I could log in for the first or second time, minimal training, and it's all guided and easy for me. Even more complex things that were complex in the past, like layout, right?
Yeah, absolutely. And so from there, all that's left for me to do is establish my click-through link and some alt text in order to ensure my compliance. But from there, now this is the fun part, right? Because now I'm ready to design my content. And so if I click in, this is going to bring me right into Designer, right? That heart, the soul of Studio that we all know and love, our easy-to-use, no-code interface to customize our content.
You know, when I talk to customers, I like to describe this as a Canva meets Google Slides like interface.
Yeah, I mean, that's a perfect analogy, right? Because here you can do things like add and remove canvases, adjust all your layouts and layers, bring in any custom brand fonts, any custom brand colors. Again, no code, no IT required. Now, obviously, I went ahead and customized my template already, but let me show you how easy it is to make this dynamic, where we're using all of that data that we just brought in to generate a unique experience for each and every customer we have. So you can see I can do things like add somebody's first name to my body copy here, bringing that in from the Snowflake integration that we established earlier. Down below, I can do something like add a product recommendation to each one of these sections and actually pull an image for that product recommendation directly from the website. And if I scroll down, I can even do something like add live odds to this for this person's favorite team's upcoming game, pulling that in from a homegrown API. And for me, that's the beauty of this approach, right? Is that all of these different sections are automatically going to generate and populate and update, not at send time, but the moment that somebody chooses to engage.
I mean, this truly is the next level of personalization. But in this economic uncertainty, a lot of us are facing budget freezing or budget cut. How can we tell that this level of personalization is actually proving value? Is that something we can do?
Yeah, I mean, it's a good question, right? And until this point, what we've seen folks try to do is rely on their ESP, rely on their MSP in order to do that. But really when they do, they're looking at the performance of that entire send versus the performance of each asset within it. And that's why we've built experiments right into the product. And the cool part about this, as we continue to build this out, is that eventually you're going to be able to test a variety of different things here. So you could do something like test your studio content versus nothing. You could test your studio content versus a static BAU. And eventually, you'll actually be able to test one variation of a tactic versus another. But today, what I'm going to do is go ahead and test my tactic that I just created versus my static BAU. And so once this content is out there, right, it's living, it's breathing, check this out. I now get this beautiful dashboard that shows me exactly how it's performing across all the KPIs that matter to me. So everything from clicks to conversions, all the way through to revenue. So no more guessing if your content is working. Now you'll know. But who wants to see this come to life, yeah?
Yeah.
All right. Anjali, would you mind taking out your phone and opening up your email for us?
Yeah, absolutely. My flashlight went off. I'll turn that off. All right, we're going through. Okay, look at that, a Fanatics Sportsbook email. And look at that, you can see an offer tailored just to me and my favorite team, the Michigan State Spartans, go green. And if you scroll down more, you can see an offer for just for me with my second favorite sport, baseball, go Cleveland Guardians.
And just to prove that this is legit, right, that everyone does receive a unique experience, let's check out mine, right? So this is the same send, exact same campaign that Anjali just received, but look at my content, right? Completely different than hers, but completely customized to me. Again, based on my favorite team of UConn and my unique betting history. One send, infinite creative. That is the power of Studio. But let's play this thing out, right? Because it's one thing just to personalize emails, right? Personalize on one channel. But today's consumers, they deserve that same touch every time, everywhere. So Anjali, would you mind clicking through for me?
Yep, absolutely.
Perfect. And as she does, check out this landing page and how many of these modules can be powered by Studio. So here again, we see that same fan cash offer that we started with in email is now completely transformed for web. And as she swipes through, we're able to see a secondary offer, again, for her second favorite sport of baseball, just like we did in the email. And of course, we have our download app CTA, so she can go ahead and redeem these offers and place her bet. So Anjali, if you wouldn't mind doing that, download the app and log in for us.
Already a step ahead of you, Andrew. Downloading now.
Perfect. So as she opens this up, look how we're able to unify this experience end to end, right? That same fan cash offer that we started with an email, then completely transformed for web, has been completely transformed for mobile as well. So this is pretty cool stuff. What do you think, Anjali?
I mean, truly omni-channel. Obviously, I had to place a bet, right?
Absolutely. But this wouldn't be Think Summit if we didn't have one last trick up our sleeves. So as we know, Anjali's Spartans took down the Bryant Bulldogs in the first round. So apologies if there's any Bryant alum out there. But what that means is that Anjali actually won her bet. So Anjali, what happened next?
Well, I got another email from Fanatics Sportsbook that shows me all of the fan cash I have available and all of the great Spartan gear that I could go ahead and buy with my fan cash, which is exactly what I did. I went ahead and bought myself a new Michigan State hat.
And I just happen to have that hat with me right here today, live on stage.
And as much as I love this hat, thank you, really goes well with the business casual. As much as I love this hat, I'm even more excited about all of the innovation that's coming to Studio, making it easier, faster than ever to get up and running in minutes across any channel. But that's it for us. We're out of time. Thank you so much. Back to you, Brian.
Nice job. Amazing work. I love the demo, all the new hot user interface we have coming for Studio. I'm so excited to get it all rolled out. Tactics coming live. It looks amazing. But let's hear directly from the Fanatics themselves. So I'm excited to bring onto the stage from Fanatics. If we get to the slide, we'll pull it on up. That's all right. Please welcome to the stage, Brian McElvaney. Welcome to Think Summit, Brian. Thank you for taking your vacation and making it a little bit short to be here. We appreciate that. Let's start with a question about the fastest growing sportsbook in America. So you were a part of a sportsbook. It was acquired by Fanatics, and it has been a whirlwind couple of years. Scale, growth. How has Movable Ink Studio supported you in that growth?
Yeah, totally. First of all, thanks for having me, Brian. It's great to be here. We're the fastest growing sportsbook in the US. Not only that, though, we broke the record for state-by-state rollout, and we were available for 95% of the addressable market in under 2 years. So I guess with that growth, you can imagine how busy it was internally from the top of the business to the bottom, but particularly for the CRM team with lots of operational overheads growing as we rolled out interstate. So for us, it was really important to bring a partner like Movable Ink in to first and foremost help us get rid of some of those operational overheads and then start to focus on kind of the cool stuff that Studio offers us.
Awesome. And so we heard in the demo and the video about Fan Cache. Sort of Fan Cache is this big differentiator with the merchandise and the gaming kind of together. Tell everybody about Fan Cache. What is it? How does it work?
Yeah, so Fan Cache is our currency. It's basically one of the #1 reasons why customers actually open an account with us. So we're really excited about the power that offers us. You earn Fan Cache with every bet you place on the sportsbook, and certain bet types you can earn up to 10%. But I think what's really unique about it is that customers can use that Fan Cache however they want. So if you're a customer like me and you like to have a bet, you can use Fan Cache in the betting product, so you can purchase bonus bets. And more recently, you can actually use your Fan Cache to increase the odds on the bet that you want to place. But if you're a customer like Anjali and you want to go and explore another part of the Fanatics ecosystem, that Fan Cache transfers across all of our verticals, and you can go and buy merchandise or baseball cards or whatever it is you like.
Yeah, that's amazing. We saw in the slides, you started with email and using Movable Ink to help scale your email program. When I make a bet, I make it on my phone. So mobile, obviously, is something you're now live with. Maybe talk about that journey from email to mobile and the performance that you've seen.
Yeah, totally. So hyper growth, lots of operational overheads. So bringing you guys in to help with those foundations was really important. Then we started to do the more interactive deliveries through email, and we tested everything against static content or BAU content, and the Movable Ink content always won hands down. So that was a really good story for us to go back to the business at the beginning of this year and say, we've got this amazing partnership, we're a mobile first brand, we need to bring it into our mobile channels. So at the beginning of this year we did that, and I think I mentioned in the video, our forecast for the impact and engagement, you guys just absolutely smashed through that, and yeah, we're really excited about what's next.
Cool, that's great. And then last question here, you just last week, launched your loyalty program called Fanatics One. I know a lot of marketers here in this room either have a loyalty program or they are launching a loyalty program. Maybe talk about that launch, what it means for your future and the future of Fanatics with Fanatics One.
Yeah, so big launch last week. I think a couple of team members are in the audience today. There's a lot of hard work to get to that point using Movable Ink to help us. But yeah, Fanatics One is our loyalty system, similar to what you experience with an airline. You can earn status depending on your points, and it's ecosystem wide, so it's not just for Fanatics betting and gaming. It applies across the board, and Movable Ink play a really key role in us guiding customers through that journey. So from registration right through to educating customers on a one-to-one level about how you can earn more points or how far away you are from the next tier. It's going to be really powerful for us this year.
Exciting. Brian, thank you so much for joining us here on stage. Give it up for Brian McElvaney, the Senior Director of Engagement for Fanatics. It's an amazing story. So now we're going to shift gears, and we're going to talk about Movable Ink DaVinci. DaVinci is our product that helps curate experiences using AI. And to tell us more about how it works and what's coming, we're going to bring on stage a former customer. She ran the email marketing program at Neiman Marcus. She was hands-on with Studio, and she ran DaVinci. Please welcome to the stage our Senior Director of AI Activation, Rachel Kramer.
Thanks, Brian. I'm excited to walk you all through how DaVinci is powering billions of AI-driven experiences for some of the world's largest brands today. But before we dive into what it is and how it works, I want to start with the customer experience. This is what they see. Content, right? They don't care about your merchant priorities or inventory levels. They don't know what a trigger is versus a batch send. Nor do they see the dozens of last-minute changes and painstaking hours it takes to make all this happen, right? I've lived this. They just see content. That's how they experience your brand. But is this even a good customer experience? Is this even relevant content or high-performing? We don't really know, but why? because your business processes are holding you back, starting with our love-hate relationship with the email calendar, right? Our organizations are beholden to it. It is our source of truth and sense of control. But where does this get us? One-size-fits-all emails, spending hundreds of thousands of dollars on photography and design for one-and-done use. But isn't scheduling content a little bit arbitrary? Why are we only sending European hotspots on Tuesday and mountain retreats on Wednesday when we could be speaking about these themes any day this week or month for that matter? Now, some of you might be sitting here thinking, we don't have a one-size-fits-all problem. We use segmentation. Segmentation's a little better, right? But there's a ceiling to what you can achieve because you're grouping customers to their lowest common denominator. And there's a ton of overhead in managing those audiences and mapping those segments to content. This is where it all falls down, right? This is where marketers encounter a ceiling to personalization despite their best efforts.
Mapping content to segments. We talked about this in the beginning of the keynote, right, Rachel? This is that rules-based process, the waterfall segmentation. This is where AI models can change the game, right?
Absolutely. This is where DaVinci comes in, right? And it's not just a decisioning engine. It is a suite of models working together within an entire end-to-end workflow, all centered around the philosophy that the customer journey begins and ends with content. So instead of having the calendar at the center, you should have your customers and their relationship to content at the center. Now, again, I know as marketers, right, we've been talking about this paradigm for a while, but now we're actually delivering on it. The first step in your journey to autonomous marketing starts with AI content decisioning, where we're selecting content for each customer on every single send.
So you've got content decisioning. You can see it right here, includes the subject lines.
Yep.
What about send decisioning, frequency decisioning, all the other models we've talked about?
Yep, so when you start leveraging content decisioning, right, this process still requires you to schedule a date and time for your deployments. But with one-time setup with agentic campaigns, you can set it up once. So you're no longer having to come in every day and work on tomorrow's deployment, right? So with this one-time setup, you're getting to leverage content, send time, and frequency as it's all fully embedded into the decisioning.
And the content and the calendar here, it looks a little different?
A little bit different, right? And we'll show you more of this in the demo. But here's how it works at a high level, right? You start by decoupling your campaigns from creative. So loading those assets into the library with their corresponding subject line, URLs, lifespan, and more. Then you select your template and input guardrails around creative eligibility and reuse, also incorporating your studio content. Then our models make decisions on your enterprise data and yours only, taking into account a multitude of objectives and signals.
Just want to make sure everyone heard that correctly. The models are only trained on the customer's data. So we're not using third-party data to train or pre-train?
Yep, that's right. Your business is unique and so are your customers. So we train our AI models on your data so that we can deliver personalized performance that meets your business needs. And this approach doesn't just drive better results, right? But it also safeguards trust because privacy and security are a top priority. What does all this result in? True one-to-one emails. Some clients reaching up to hundreds of thousands of versions deploying on any given send. Inconceivable if you think about that from a manual segmentation approach. And lastly, the feedback loop, right? Providing you with those rich insights on how your content performs in market. But let's take a closer look at how these one-to-one emails come to life. So you can see that DaVinci is selecting the hero and pairing that with the subject line, along with determining when to send it and whether to send it at all, right? And it's making these decisions for every customer on your file. No more one size fits all, no more one and done.
So this is a technology shift.
Yep.
And like we said in the beginning, it's also a shift in the business process, right? The marketing team has to evolve. So this change, what's in it for the marketer? What's in it for the business if they decide to go through this evolution?
Our clients do it because it delivers transformational results, right? Providing enhanced customer experiences with thousands more variants like we just went through. Improve marketer productivity, so reduction in those manual and mundane tasks. And lastly, financial performance, a lift in 20% in revenue on average. Again, all of this can be yours and is achieved through the realization and acceptance that the customer journey begins and ends with content. Now, Brian, I think it's time to step into some exciting DaVinci announcements.
That's right. So first, we're going to talk about the AI model enhancements that we've been making. Now, Movable Ink has had our models in production for years. 2 years ago, we announced our AI suite of models, that ensemble model approach, and so we're going to walk through some of the big enhancements and big changes we've made. So Rachel, why don't you kick us off with this one?
Yeah, we'll start with our bread and butter, content decisioning, right? Where we're now unlock the ability to eliminate those pesky manual previews and enable day one use of short-lived content, which means no longer having to send those 3-day promotions statically. Additionally, subject lines are now GA. Natively built into the UI, this all-in-one workflow is comprised of both subject line generation and prediction. And lastly, frequency optimization, where we're balancing performance and file health by taking into account the cost of an unsub relative to the value of a click and optimizing accordingly. Now, Brian, how do these perform?
Well, what we do is we deploy these models in our customers' accounts. And when they first get started, they will compare how the AI models perform against their business as usual. And when the customers deploy these new models, they will see, for example, with content decisioning, an average of a 25% increase in revenue per send versus their BAU. When they deploy the subject line generation and prediction model, which, by the way, it doesn't just generate subject lines, it can predict the best subject line for every customer, even your handcrafted subject lines. They'll see an average of a 15% increase in click-throughs. And my favorite, which is the frequency optimization, this is brand new. When we deploy that into a customer's account, on average, they see a decline or a decrease in their email volumes while maintaining the same revenue per send. So these models can be deployed individually or together. And when somebody deploys all of them together, right, Rachel,
Yep.
this sort of creates a new kind of system.
Yep, that's where autonomous marketing comes into play, right, with agentic campaigns, starting with our always-on setting. So again, initially, DaVinci took over content decisioning, still requiring campaign scheduling. Now, you can automate both with the help of an agent.
That's right. And when you create that agent, you are in control. You have guardrails, audience eligibility, creative eligibility, quiet hours. You set the controls on top of the AI, because there are going to be times where you have to do your own thing and set your own messages out because of your business priorities.
Absolutely. And lastly, intelligent send decisions. So similar to frequency optimization, but you can also set weekly minimum and maximum guardrails for the models to operate within. Moving on to our creative experience. Now, I saw the first iteration of this back at Neiman's in, let's say, 2018, and this is probably the biggest enhancement we've seen to date, starting with our creative editor. So we're bringing you a new and improved creative editor with drag and drop functionality and increased flexibility in incorporating live text.
And this content editor is what powers this opportunity to now run DaVinci in multiple languages across the world, because we have customers that run global marketing programs. So a piece of content in English, Spanish, French, Japanese is all treated as one unit of content, so it's optimized accordingly across the regions around the world.
Oui, Brian. We'll round it out with our brand kit, allowing marketers to establish guidelines and style elements for consistency across experiences. This includes things such as your logo, color scheme, and more. Also allows you to set tone guidelines for subject line generation. Next up, strategic insights. Now, this is a really important section as it's a key area of value and one that we know our clients care a lot about, starting with our enhanced creative scoring. So the insights that you know and love just got better with new creative effectiveness scores, now including revenue and retention metrics.
And you've been asking us to help you understand how the AI impacts your audiences, your card holders versus your non-card holders, your highly engaged versus your disengaged. And now you can see side-by-side comparisons of how the AI models are impacting subsets or cohorts of your audience file.
And lastly, contact level exports, one of the most requested features that we get asked for. You can now automatically export contact level engagement data to a variety of sources, and you can use these insights to not only influence your content strategy within email, but also across other channels. Whew, that was a lot to get through, Brian. Is that it?
It's a lot to get through, but look, it wouldn't be a Think Summit if we didn't have a but wait, there's more, right? All right, so we have one more thing. We're excited to announce that DaVinci is going omni-channel. We're now going to support mobile with DaVinci.
How could I forget? We're going cross-channel with DaVinci Mobile. You can now leverage AI content decisioning across your mobile messaging. We'll be embarking on an early access program later this year for push and SMS. So if you're interested, please let us know. And with that, I think it's time to give the spotlight to a well-known DaVinci client. the brand that brought you Sambas, Superstars, Stan Smiths, the brand that I'm wearing right now.
And me too.
And Brian. Adidas, a global brand specializing in sneakers and activewear for all of your sports needs. Focus on providing world-class performance and quality to athletes across all ages, levels, and genders. Now, they began their journey with DaVinci last year, resulting in 30% or more lifts of engagement, but don't take it from me. Let's hear it from the client themselves.
Let's roll the film.
Adidas is truly at the intersection of sports and culture. The opportunity that we're seeing beyond soccer, beyond our core history, is offering the best products for everyone. There's not one type of consumer that we're talking to, it's really everyone. My name is Rene Hersports, and I get to lead the North American CRM team at Adidas. Within Adidas, luckily, we always knew the revenue potential the email channel has. But optimizing and improving that is certainly something no one complained about, especially our finance and e-com teams. Before we leveraged DaVinci, our email calendar was really dictated by our product launches and the business needs that come with it. Getting started with Movable Ink was surprisingly easy. Movable Ink is not just a vendor, but considered a true partner, a strategic partner, delivering against our priorities. Through the help of DaVinci, we were able to change our product launch-centric calendar to a consumer-centric calendar. We were able to unlock personalization and the 5 rights. We were able to send the right content to the right consumer and have the consumer dictate when they get an email and what this email would look like. With DaVinci, we are able to target more consumers with more relevant content for them, helping with long-term growth and health of our file. The numbers we saw in our pilot were outstanding, proving the impact personalization can have. We are optimizing towards revenue, but seeing a 30% plus lift in engagement with our emails. This was a direct comparison between our old and our new business as usual. So we truly believe in the potential that this partnership has. The creative insights we're generating, we then share with our partners to influence what type of content and how much of it is going to be produced within upcoming seasons. Growing up as a kid in Germany, I was always close to sport. I was a big soccer fan, the German national team, I was watching it all. Being a part of this brand is something that gives me a lot of joy and passion.
All right, we'll bring Renee up here in a second, but first let's unpack how we got it done with the DaVinci platform demo. And in order to help me do so, I welcome to the stage Matt Previn, Associate Director of Solutions Consulting. Welcome, Matt.
All right, Rachel, thank you for the introduction. The marketing calendar on this screen shows Adidas using DaVinci for daily email deployments last month. Like any great team looking for their Moneyball moment, they drafted AI as their #1 overall pick to drive personalization at scale. But let's take a look at this month's calendar. Do you see the difference? Like Rachel showed us before, the blue lines on this page represent Adidas' agentic campaign in action. So ask yourself this question. What if it was easy to manage content, send time, and frequency personalization, while optimizing for performance lift and, of course, file health? But more importantly, why set up 10 to 30 plus batch campaigns per month when you can set up one agentic campaign that can last weeks or months? We are excited to show you how it will increase your revenue and save you time by building an agentic campaign together.
Okay, this is amazing, Matt. I know this is the moment everyone's been waiting for to see this live, but what about the marketers in the room that can't do this for every single send? What if they still have to deploy something on a specific date and time?
Yeah, of course. I mean, look, every marketer in this room knows that they need to send a specific message at a specific time to their users. So they can actually use manual campaigns to override the agent in those times, of course. As a good example, we'll actually start by thinking about frequency guardrails for minimum and maximum number of sends per week. You can, of course, even let the AI make those decisions for you.
What about send time? What if I still have to send something on a specific date and time?
Yeah, of course. So with send time personalization, you will also have those guardrails with quiet hours, where you can pause the deployment during certain times of day and, of course, days of the week. You can, of course, even leverage quiet periods to talk about important promotional moments like we mentioned before. But of course, let's kind of keep on navigating through, and we'll talk about how to set up the next iteration of your creative, which is for targeting. So effectively what's going to happen here is we can establish our targeting guardrails, where ultimately you'll see your inclusion logic as well as your exclusion logic already established. So of course, what's going to really be important about this is that this will allow you to maintain your brand's rules while using AI to enhance your marketing content like never before. And once we do that, we can then, of course, go on to our template. And here you can see we can drag and drop different components of your email in a codeless environment that anyone from your intern to your CTO can understand. And of course, if I type in Movable Ink, what you'll see here is that studio blocks of content can live here too. So now that our template's been set up, let's talk about the most exciting part about agentic campaigns, because this is where we will be able to leverage Adidas' vast content library for AI decisioning with content guardrails in mind. But Rachel.
Matt.
Since our theme of Think Summit is create, why don't we dive deeper into the creative that inspired your purchase with our brand new content editor? Here we go. Not only can we build dynamic imagery on the fly, but we can also easily layer live text and Movable Ink Studio content. As an example, I can drag this text description of Rachel's track jacket and paste it in right here. And you can even see this dynamic product grid powered by Movable Ink Studio as well, of course, from that beautiful Farm Rio collection. And coming soon, we can also go global, incorporating multiple languages in one interface, allowing you to take AI to every region around the world. Once you save this, all these creative variations will live in the creative library.
Okay, Matt, this is so key, right, where marketers can access all of the content available to them in one place, upload creative once, and reuse it consistently based on guardrails they set. And this goes for Studio and DaVinci content?
That's right. Speaking of which, let's talk about the guardrails around that content and start with scheduling your creative. So here, we can actually enter your active dates. So some creatives, like Rachel's, may actually last weeks or even months. Others, just a few days. We're letting your creatives work harder for you by going beyond the one and done approach, decoupling them from campaigns and adding value to your cost per creative asset. We can also add value by talking about subject lines. Our AI-powered subject line generation tool is native to our platform, so your teams can instantly create diverse subject lines by tonality.
Okay, this is one of my faves. So our vision model is actually reading the creative that you upload at a pixel level to generate the creative brief along with the subject line variants. To me, it does not get any cooler than this.
Man, I could not agree more. But next, let's talk about filters. This is where we can apply both common sense rules as well as business critical guardrails at the individual creative level. For instance, we can ensure that Addict Club members don't just get an email to join their loyalty program, or that athletes are only featured with approved products. And finally, let's go ahead and take a look at our reuse rules, where you can automatically tailor creative delivery based on an individual's last open, send, click, and conversion. So this will ensure that Rachel doesn't get another email for the track jacket that she already purchased.
Okay, so to recap, you set your agentic campaign up once by setting your frequency and send time guardrails, selecting your audience, template, all eligible creatives. Is that it?
That's it. We lock for proofing, and the work of 30+ batch campaigns is now done in one setup. Imagine that.
Woo!
And while you're imagining that, let's head to the proof screen to bring that vision to life. I'm thrilled to share that, and I'll go ahead and zoom on in, that we can now send over 2 million versions of emails to millions of Adidas customers today. Not 2, not 20, 2 million.
Cue thunderous applause.
Yeah. All right, and of course, we can even see Rachel's track jacket. There it is at the bottom of the screen. So, of course, even though it looks fine on her, It's not necessarily meant for everybody. But why don't we go ahead and see the email that was actually just meant for me? Here we go. This makes a lot of sense. I am a solutions consultant, a sports consultant, a sneakerhead consultant, but mainly I am a running consultant. So these are the right kicks for me at the right time. But what about our Chief Product Officer, Mr. Brian Wade? This makes a lot of sense as well. Brian is so busy building some amazing technology that he needs that inspiration for him and the entire family. I can't wait to see them all getting those outfits because DaVinci is a recommendation engine in the best way possible too.
Okay, Matt, this is cool, but how can marketers actually see that this generates performance lift?
Oh, Rachel, let's impress every marketer here and their CMO by heading to our analytics dashboard. And we're actually going to start with experiments because as you can see, all of your experiments are now featured on one page. So, are you running continuous experimentation against your BAU? Testing a variety of subject lines? Creatives? Incrementality? No more digging through pivot tables and spreadsheets to find the results of your tests.
But creative is the fuel that powers the DaVinci engine, right? So how can we see how individual creative performs?
Yeah, well, Rachel, this is the page for you. Here, we'll showcase revenue, conversions, AOV, and more metrics based on your creatives.
So because we're decoupling campaigns from creative, you can now look at individual creative level performance over time. So regardless of whether an asset lives 2 weeks or 2 months, you can aggregate those results here.
Absolutely. You can analyze those creatives in a table view and creative trends with only a few clicks. As an example, on the category level, like soccer versus tennis. Thinking about seasonality, like spring versus summer, product versus editorial shots, and so much more. Of course, we can also even view the individual creative level performance with this chart, visualizing the deployment experience. Do you see this growth? This is now the agent. It's acting and improving and growing over time. And of course, if you want to lift your cell phones for a screenshot to impress your boss, now you're only one screen grab away from completing your Google Slides or PowerPoint presentation in minutes instead of hours. But finally, as I zoom on in, you'll see our proprietary AI metrics right here. This starts with open, click, and conversion effectiveness. So Rachel's creative is unique because it wasn't sent to everybody on the Adidas file, but it drove a 2.44x conversion effectiveness rate, meaning it vastly outperformed the baseline creative. Measuring incrementality just became simple and seamless.
Seems like we're going to see a lot more people in this jacket pretty soon.
I have no doubt.
With that, DaVinci allows marketers to access experimentation and analyzing performance more easily than ever before, enabling a critical feedback loop of learnings for you and your cross-functional teams.
That's right. The future of marketing is incredibly exciting with agentic campaigns. Now you have more time to play some soccer. Ooh. And let our agent do all the monotonous tasks that take up so much of your time. But most importantly, you get to go back to being an innovator again, the way it was meant to be. Thank you all very much. Back to you, Brian.
Rachel, fantastic work up here. All right, now it's time to hear directly from the customer. So let's switch to the slide and bring up on stage the Director of Consumer Engagement, Renee Hirschboltz. Welcome to Think Summit, Renee. Thank you for being here. Just kind of want to kick off by asking you about your vision. So you mentioned in the video this 5 rights. What are the 5 rights? And tell us about what you're trying to accomplish with your customer experience at Adidas.
Yeah, the 5 rights is really our North Star. That's the vision that we're working towards for every small decision, every large decision. The 5 rights are trying to get the right content to the right consumer at the right time, in the right frequency, and with the right context. Yes, I've said this a couple times in my life. And it's really for us that all of this is coming together. Only then we can create a truly unique experience for our consumers that resonates with them and hopefully also brings in the sales.
Yeah, and I also want to highlight a comment you made in the video. You talked about moving from a product launch-centric calendar to a consumer-centric calendar. How did the AI help you do that, and what was that process like?
Yeah, for obvious reasons, you all know Adidas as a brand. We have a lot of products that are launching, and a lot of them are comp supported. We get tools for them, we have content. So now all of those different business units are coming to us and are asking us, hey, can we, on July 1st, send this email for this new product launch? That is really hard to manage. It takes a lot of work, it takes a lot of coordination, it's a lot of disappointed people, because your outdoor campaign might not get to as many people as your larger lifestyle campaign. So managing all of this was really, really difficult, and it's also not what the consumer wants. Our consumers, realistically, they're waiting for a few launches a year, and they know what date that is, but your regular, basic tracksuits, those kind of things, our consumers aren't waiting for it, if we're all honest to ourselves. So it is really important to give the consumer the content they want to consume and the products that they might be interested in at the time that they're really looking for that. So flipping the concept from a product-focused calendar to a calendar that is really focused on our consumer needs when product is available was a key thing that we had to do here. But obviously that was also a very big cultural shift because a lot of people have a lot of questions. When is this going out? Why am I not seeing it in my inbox? But it's really great to be able to say, you're not seeing this in your inbox because we know what you might like more than that.
Right, right. And you ran a test, right? Yeah. Where you compared the DaVinci product versus your business as usual. Maybe tell everybody in the audience what that test was like. Were there insights that you gained? Were there learnings that were achieved as a part of that test? And how's that working now?
So business as usual was very different than what we're doing right now with DaVinci. Our business as usual was really us trying to find the right segmentation, the right audience for each piece of creative. Again, that's a lot of work. That's a lot of manual making assumptions, pulling audiences, working with our analytics team, and defining who should get each piece of content. So there was a lot of work that was going into that, and we took such great care that we create a fair test. We really compared that versus the DaVinci setup. That is a big change in operations, but we had to put so much care into the setup so that we're actually really confident in the numbers that we're seeing afterwards. And both on the financial side as well as the consumer engagement side, we saw 30% lift in revenue, we saw double-digit lift in engagement. We're really seeing those results that we now are comfortable and confident in and can move forward knowing that we executed this the right way and we have the right results. So our finance team is happy because they see the financial results, as well as our different partners. They're all happy seeing everything that went into that.
That's fantastic. Last question. I want to hear about the vision for the future. You guys are really pushing the boundaries, we think. What's next for Adidas? What are you doing in 2025 and 2026?
Yeah, like similar to any sports event, we're always looking at the next game. We're always thinking what is the next improvement that we can make. We have a big event coming up with the World Cup 2026. Soccer is going to be very prevalent here in North America, so that's really important for us from a market perspective. And with Movable Ink, this is really a true partnership. I mentioned it in the video. And for us, that means this is just a start. Like we're right now, literally as we speak, testing out the frequency model that you're offering. We have not yet implemented a send time optimization. So there's a lot of areas that we can still explore. So it's really finding out how can we use this as our new baseline and then improve on top of that.
Amazing. Renee, thank you so much for joining us. Give it up for Renee Hirschboltz. Everyone. I just want to take a moment and say thank you to Brian and the Fanatics team, Renee and the team at Adidas. If it's not clear, we build our software directly with our customers. So you saw in the announcements, we have early adopter programs. We have programs where we want to engage with you, understand where you want us to go. So please find us in the demo booth to bring the demo and everything to life. You can check it out back there. And I want to have us wrap us up by bringing back to the stage our co-founder and CEO, Vivek Sharma.
She's up all night to the sun. I'm up all night to get some. She's up all night for good fun. I'm up all
I've never been more excited about the Movable Ink platform than I am this year. There's so much that we just learned and saw. Thank you to the product team for your hard work over the course of the past year. This is the photo finish here. With Studio, we're taking our content generation capabilities, going well beyond email to interactive app experiences, RCS, WhatsApp, and web. The unified data platform is a virtualized layer that lets you connect your data across your organization, and you can get started with over 120 out-of-the-box integrations. and it all comes together in an intuitive UI. Guided tactics and workflows make it super simple to get up and running in just minutes. DaVinci is evolving from AI decisioning to full-on execution. Agentic campaigns. They can now decide what to send, when to send it, how often, all within your strategy and brand guidelines. This is the future of marketing. In addition to that, DaVinci's creative editor supports full HTML, multilingual, and your brand kit in a beautiful drag and drop interface. And we're just getting started. Later this year, DaVinci is coming to mobile. We at Movable Ink think of ourselves as tool builders, as digital blacksmiths, and we are so inspired by each one of you to build amazing products. So over the course of today and tomorrow, I encourage you to learn, connect, and play, and we can't wait to see what you go off and create. Thank you all.